You saw and called the first Chiefs game of the year. I was next to you. You saw and called the latest Chiefs game. I imagine it's Kevin Harlan sitting next to you for the national radio call. I don't think there's any question the Chiefs have turned the corner. It's now about how far they're going to go. And what a big game this Sunday against the Bills. Walk me through how you see the 10th all-time meeting between Mahomes and Josh Allen going and how they need to play to win. Kurt.
Yeah, I'm with you on the Chiefs. They're just back to doing what they've been doing for the last couple years. And it's a really hard thing to stop because it's hard to create negative plays against them, because their offense is so much, short throws, yards after catch, finding creative ways to get their players the ball in space. And so if you can't get them in negative situations where you force them to have to hold the football and throw it down the field, they are a tough team to stop because, Patrick's as good as anybody at dealing the football and creating positive plays when there's not a lot there. I'll even say this, is that I don't think Patrick is playing his best football yet. Now, he's playing great off schedule, but in that game on Monday night, I thought there was a number of opportunities in front of him, within the scheme of the offense that he missed. But, the offensive line gave him time. And when you give him time, there's nobody better off schedule than Patrick Mahomes. And I feel like a lot of this season, he's been playing more off schedule than on schedule. And part of it was because of the issues early on and the lack of comfort with the guys around him. But, that's the amazing thing is that they're playing well. And, Patrick's playing great, off schedule, and those guys work so well together. They got their weapons back. But I think they can even be better. Like, I think they're going to get more comfortable, and Patrick's going to settle back in more because he's gotten into this mode of having to create more, I think, over the last year and a half. And it's taken him a little bit away from, some of the things that he does really well in terms of processing and seeing and getting the ball out on time, that I think this team can get even better than they are right now. And so it's pretty amazing with what we saw week one in Brazil to the way that they flip things now. And I think most people see them as the team to beat in the AFC, even though they just, snuck into the playoff picture. I think it's going to be ascension from here. And then on the other side with Buffalo, I like what they did last week, of course, the big win and getting back to running the football and establishing the run. Josh is another guy that I believe is playing too fast this year. I think Josh is awesome when he plays on schedule and in the pocket, and he settles in the pocket and reads it and throws it. I feel like he's gotten really impatient. And again, is it the weapons on the outside and the lack of, the ability to create separation? But there's oftentimes where you'll see him drop back, and it's almost as soon as his back foot hits on the top of his drop where he's moving and his feet go sideways and he's looking to run or get on the move instead of letting the play work for him. And so I think he's got to do the same thing. He's got to settle back in and trust the offense in front of him. I think part of that is, getting back to running the football, which made them so good a year ago, that it wasn't all about Josh Allen making plays. But yeah, I think he's got to slow things down a little bit and get back to playing some of that MVP football that we saw a year ago.
Who was the quarterback when you were playing, Kurt, that you knew leading up to the week, I need to have my best game, period, end of story, because I know he is too, in the same way that potentially both Allen and Mahomes are thinking about this week? Who was that guy for you, Kurt?
Yeah, I mean, all the great ones. Like anytime you went against the guys, that would be, the Mannings and, Favre at the beginning of my career.
Well, Favre's because the Packers cut you too, right, Kurt? I mean, like there was a little bit of an edge to that one. Technically,
always an edge.
Come on, I want one. I want one. Like one guy that you knew, because honestly, Allen and Mahomes know right now, with all due respect to everyone else.
Yeah.
I mean, Lamar's maybe another one.
Yeah,
in the AFC,
I just don't know if I had.
There was
I don't know if I had a matchup like that. I mean, for me, it was more certain defenses. And so for me, it was like when I went up against Tampa's defense, that I knew that the only chance we had to win was if I played, my best game. And, that was to me more the matchup. I didn't have a Brady Manning type matchup, or, like you're talking about Mahomes against Allen.
Right.
I didn't have something like that was ongoing necessarily in my career, especially as I bounced to some different teams. So me, it was, like I said, any great quarterback coming in, you knew you were going to have to play well. But for me, because of the style that we played, I think it was more, okay, the great defenses, and specifically that Tampa defense. When I played against them, I knew that was the game I had to lock in, and knew I had to play well if we were going to win.
So it was more Saps, Brooks, Lynch, Barber than Sean King.
Yes.
Okay.
yeah, definitely okay. In that situation.
Poor Sean King. I'm dragging Kurt down to my level, right?
Just
Sean King somewhere going, wait a minute.
Yeah, a needless drive.
What's that all about?
How did I get into this?
That's
right?
What
did my name get dropped?
Hey, you made it all the way to the end. Thanks for that. Check us out every single day streaming live on Disney Plus and the ESPN app 12 to 3 Eastern.